This is the Emergency Notification System of America. This is an emergency action notification from the Redland Defense League. This is not a test. Council activity has been detected emanating from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It has been reported that the Ultimatum military has begun invading the ruins of the city, going door to door, and executing Redland survivors, and infecting human survivors with Virus Y. Virus Y is a deadly nerve agent enhanced by blackened snow, and it will cause horrific and deadly consequences for humans infected by the virus. Within 2 minutes of infection, bleeding will begin to profusely occur emanating from every orifice of the human body, following within 10 minutes of infection by the dissolution of muscle tissue and human bones, eventually leading to full dismemberment within 30 minutes, followed by rebuilding of the body, and dissolution of all portions of the brain that enable free thought. Following the conclusion of the virus's effects, the Ultimatum military will abduct the infected humans, if they are still alive, and it will force them to work in New Tokyo's underground factories, with no nourishment or care for their victims. If you see a member of the Ultimatum military approaching your area, it is being advised that you perform one of the following pre-prepared plans of action. The first plan of action is the simplest. End your own life, before the Ultimatum military can torture or kill you. Find the nearest weapon which can cause fatal injury, and immediately initiate self-termination. The second plan of action is to hide. While this plan of action is the second simplest, it is also the second most risky, as your evasion of detection is purely up to chance. The third and final plan of action is coordinated rebellion. Find and communicate with your fellow protector of bunker residents, and proceed to quickly and quietly eliminate the Ultimatum military forces. This is the most risky, as the Ultimatum military has in their possession weapon resource directly from Trappist 1, and it will take only a few moments for their weaponry to completely and utterly disintegrate the entirety of your being. The following message has been transmitted at the request of Sector 6. Around 2 minutes ago, a significant act of Redland terrorism took place in downtown Tokyo between two unidentified Redlands and a Mendo, a member of the council who was allowing her daughter to partake in the city's Halloween festivities. At this time, it has been confirmed that Mendo has terminated both of the assailants. However, it has been reported that Mendo's daughter was bitten by one of the assailants, while the other injected her daughter with an unknown liquid compound. At this time, Sector 6 is advising all citizens that the threat has been neutralized, but that no Redland citizens, for any reason, should attempt to instigate violence against governmental figures, as doing so will compromise the stability of New Tokyo, and is against the Insurrection Act of 2108. If rioting begins to occur, a shelter-in-place warning may be issued, but this is not a certainty at this time. Mendo's daughter, Leah, has been transported by her mother to the Eric Matthews Memorial Hospital in Osaka, and is expected to make a full recovery. This has been an administrative message from Sector 6. We now resume regular programming. This station has interrupted its regular programming to bring you this special news message. The following message has been transmitted by order of the New Tokyo Medical Examiner's Office, the Council, in Sector 6. This is a hazardous materials warning. Approximately 3 hours ago, the daughter of Mendo, a member of the Council, identified as 16-year-old Leah Omenaker, was admitted into the Eric Matthews Memorial Hospital in Osaka. She was given immediate treatment to resolve her medical emergencies, and was discharged only 1 hour after admittance. Approximately 30 minutes ago, the Eric Matthews Memorial Hospital began to shut down due to medical staff succumbing to the effects of an unknown contagion, and as many as 33 deaths have already occurred as a result of this unknown contagion. The New Tokyo Medical Examiner, in conjunction with Sector 6's Genetic Terrorism Task Force, have issued a statement in regards to the contagion, which is now being referred to as X. Symptoms of X include, but are not limited to, profuse bleeding from every orifice of the human body, typically occurring within 2 minutes of infection. The partial to complete dissolution of muscle tissue and bones within 10 to 15 minutes of infection. And full termination of muscle tissue and human limbs within 30 minutes of infection. Other symptoms, typically occurring in around 2% of cases, include dizziness, nausea, disorientation, fatigue, headache, and increased levels of aggression towards others. It has been noted that those infected with this virus will not experience a heightened body temperature or experience any chills or increase in sweating. The Genetic Terrorism Task Force is still unclear as to how exactly this virus is being spread, but they have issued a preliminary report that the virus is spread by direct contact with others and is spread by bodily fluids. All residents within a 25-mile radius of Osaka, as well as Tokyo, are advised to return to their homes at once. Lock all doors and windows, and do not permit anyone, no matter their identity or governmental clearance, into your home. Remember to shut off all heating and ventilation systems in order to prevent the spread of the disease, should it be discovered that it is airborne. You are listening to the emergency notification system serving the Osaka area. If you are not in this local area, you should now tune to a station providing news and information for your local area. The emergency notification system has been activated to keep the public informed of situations involving public health. We interrupt this program to bring you this civil emergency message. This is a civil emergency. All broadcast and radio stations will transmit this emergency message. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the New Tokyo Medical Examiner's Office, the Department of Redland Affairs, in Sector 6. Approximately 7 hours ago, reports began to come in from the Eric Matthews Memorial Hospital in Osaka regarding the detection of a virus of unknown origin. The same virus has now been reported at Tokyo General Hospital in Tokyo, as well as the Okana Niraji Memorial Medical Center in Sapporo. This virus, currently designated as X, originally began to raise concern following infection of medical staff whom came in contact with Leo Maneker, the daughter of Amando, a member of the council, who had been attacked and injected with an unknown substance some time earlier. At this time, reports of this virus have begun to come in from citizens in Osaka, Tokyo, Sapporo, and Yokohama. This virus has already taken the lives of over 1,000 people, and these death tolls are projected to rise over the next 72 hours. It is still unknown exactly how this virus is transmitted, but as reported earlier, the symptoms of this virus include profuse bleeding from every orifice of the human body, typically occurring within 2 minutes of infection. The partial to complete dissolution of muscle tissue and bones within 10 to 15 minutes of infection. And full termination of muscle tissue and human limbs within 30 minutes of infection. Other symptoms, typically occurring in around 20% of cases, include dizziness, nausea, disorientation, fatigue, headache, and increased levels of aggression towards others. It has been noted that those infected with this virus will not experience a heightened body temperature or experience any chills or increases in sweating. This virus is believed to be lethal once initial exposure occurs, with 98.7% of patients succumbing to the virus within 30 minutes of infection. However, in some cases, it can take over 4 to 5 hours to kill its victims, while in rare cases, those infected will not die, but will instead be subjected to full death of the portions of the brain, which permit free thought. Researchers from the Genetic Terrorism Task Force, as well as the New Tokyo Medical Examiner, are still investigating the origins of this virus, and will treat the full identification of symptoms as their highest priority. However, the medical examiner and the Genetic Terrorism Task Force is reporting that it is extremely challenging to properly identify what this virus is, as it appears this may be a case of genetic terrorism, as some samples have come back positive for black snow, a genetic weapon used by extremist wetlands in the realignment. At this time, Sector 6 would like to inform citizens that at this time it is difficult to determine who was infected and who was not, as in a study of over 500 infected individuals, they were unable to identify individuals who had infected them, and the current belief is that this is a widespread act of genetic terrorism, being taken out by extremist wetland terrorists, in collaboration with half-breed wetlands. In a study by the Genetic Terrorism Task Force, when exposed to virus X, those of Redland descent in full-blooded Redlands do not react to this virus in any way, and do not display any symptoms, due to the low clarity on who was committing these acts of genetic terrorism, as victims of this virus have thus far been completely incapable of telling authorities who they came in contact with, before the symptoms of virus X began to occur, and as a precaution for the well-being of the general public, the Council has declared a state of martial law, as of the transmission of this message. All residents of New Tokyo, no matter their species, were hereby ordered to return to their homes immediately, remain away from areas of heavy population, and, if human, to isolate themselves from any Redland members of their homes. Retland citizens who wish to comply with the law should now proceed to their nearest Retland Affairs office in a peaceful and prompt fashion. The Council would also like to remind all citizens to remain peaceful in these trying times, and that all human citizens and Retland citizens refrain from jumping to conclusions and taking the law into their own hands. Any acts of violence against any persons, Retland or human, during this period of martial law are punishable by death. Remain indoors and keep your guns in the drawers. We interrupt this program to bring you this law enforcement message. Important news and instructions will follow that tones. Please stand by. The following message is being transmitted by order of Sector 6. Approximately 2 minutes ago, a group of armed Retlands appeared outside of an office building belonging to the Dalus Corporation in downtown Tokyo, and have now been confirmed to have breached the building, taking over 500 workers, whom were remaining indoors to adhere to the martial law imposition, hostage. This includes the company's president, multiple Sector 6 agents, and a member of the council. The identities of these Retland terrorists remain unknown, but at this time, they have not only stormed the building and taken hostages, but they have also defaced the electronic billboards surrounding the building, and it has now been confirmed, thanks to the messages on said billboards, that the armed Retlands currently occupying the building are directly responsible for the release of Virus X into the general public. Repeating, the armed Retlands currently occupying the building are directly responsible for the release of Virus X into the general public. All citizens should be aware of the ongoing imposition of martial law throughout New Tokyo, and that they are for no reason permitted to exit their current locations, for any reason whatsoever. And, that human residents are advised to remain away from Retland residents of their homes, or current locations. Sector 6 is also in the process of assisting those stranded on the roads to their homes, but after you, if currently on the road, or escorted to your home, you should for no reason exit the building. At this time, there has been no communication with the terrorists, and no line of communication between the terrorists and authorities have been established, as these Retland terrorists are in possession of weaponry from Trappist 1, and are considered extremely dangerous. Sector 6 in coordination with the Council are working to resolve the situation, but at this time, we have been told that Emma will be speaking on all channels within the next 5 minutes. Please stand by for that message. You are listening to the emergency notification system. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this message. This is a civil danger warning. The civil authorities in your area have authorized the transmission of this message to keep the public informed of situations involving civil danger. This is WKNX and we will continue to cover the Tokyo area. If you are not in this area, please tune to a station covering news and information for your area.
Dialing.
Good morning, New Tokyo. I am sure that you all must be frightened by what is occurring in our prosperous land. And for that fear and fright you must be feeling, I, on behalf of the Council, would like to personally apologize. We have been incredibly flawed in this situation, but I feel that I must, for the sake of public goodwill, inform you all of what we believe to be true regarding the terrorists now holding 500 people, including Izniaji, a member of the Council, hostage inside of the Dalus building in Tokyo. We have had agents coordinating with us from the Department of Retland Affairs over the past few months, and they informed us that there has been significant activity, all in the intentions of gaining the custody of a child. That child's name is Kay Hill. Kay was struck by a great misfortune from the moment he was born. Kay is the son of who we believe to be the leader of the terrorists currently occupying the Dalus building, Yokana Narugi. Yokana is the individual believed to be responsible for the realignment, a planetary event which rendered every inch of the planet, except for Japan, inhospitable for humans. She reportedly spared 1 billion humans to be relocated here to Japan, or, as it is now, New Tokyo, and then killed off or infected the rest of humanity with blackened snow, all to protect the future of Kay. Or so she thought. We have discovered that Johanna, just yesterday, ambushed agents from the Department of Retlin Affairs and a heavily injured woman who we have been unable to identify as of yet outside of Hill's house, a tribute bar to Mr. Hill's father, Jerry, who was killed by his own wife in 2028. All of this while disguising herself as me and attempting to forcefully gain custody of her son. Johanna now seems to think that by unleashing a genetic weapon upon the human population and taking harmless citizens hostage, that she will be given her son. But I would like to say to Miss Nerugi that this couldn't be further from what will really happen. We will give you 1 hour, Johanna. You have 1 hour from this exact moment to exit the building, surrender yourself to authorities, and release Sage and Izanami, 2 of our great nation's best Retlin Affairs agents. If you do not follow these instructions, we will be forced to send in reinforcements. And I assure you that if it comes to that, you will never see your son again. But he will see you in a coffin. 1 hour, Johanna. 1 hour. Connection terminated.
That was a message from the Council. This is the emergency notification system. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this message. This is Channel 3. We will continue to serve the Tokyo area. If you are not in this local area, please tune to a station providing news and information for your local area. The emergency notification system has been activated.
Good evening, this is Giorgio Jacobson and you are tuned to Channel 3. We apologize for the lack of visuals, as we have been temporarily unable to transmit visual data, as we have been advised by the Council not to show anyone what is going on at the scene of the ongoing crime that the emergency notification system first informed us of around an hour ago. We are joined at this hour by Ahmeno, who has graciously granted our station an interview so that she can bring us all the latest information about the ongoing crisis. Ahmeno, thank you for joining us.
I would say my pleasure, but I know that is anything but the truth. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing about as well as can be expected in times like these. My daughter was infected by the virus these terrorists unleashed upon our nation. Speaking of that, what can you tell us about the situation? I understand that we just passed the deadline you set for Johanna Nerugi.
Yes, that we did. And unfortunately for Miss Nerugi, she decided to continue isolating herself and her goons inside of the building and did not even attempt to contact us. It's as if she is trying to get herself killed. Thankfully, we have put our best agents in charge of raiding the building and neutralizing the targets. We should be hearing something in just a few moments from the scene to confirm this. I believe you may want to let the people hear this.
And what might this be?
What justice sounds like.
Well, all right then, if you insist. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by as we transmit a live transmission from the Dalus building. We would like to warn viewers that this audio is live and that it may contain graphic content. We highly advise that you send children away from the television for the time being. We now bring you live audio from the scene.
Dialing.
This is Subject 27. We are prepared for infiltration. Please advise of further actions.
Subject 27. Please be advised that the Council has dispatched 2 high-level Retlin Affairs agents to the scene. Please proceed to the maintenance access door on the 5th floor via the exterior stairwell near the primary entrance.
Copy, Command. Proceeding to external stairwell now. Terrorists spotted leaving the building via 5th floor external stairwell. They've opened fire upon us. Please advise and send reinforcements.
Neutralize targets at all costs. Do not let them leave the scene alive. New Tokyo is counting on you. Are the targets using the stolen Trappist weaponry?
A mix of ballistic weaponry and Trappist weaponry. They appear to be taking the 2 Retlin Affairs hostages with them.
They have the hostages with them. Jesus. Hold your fire, for God's sake. Subject 27, are you there? Repeat, Subject 27, are you there? Please advise me of what is going on. There seems to be some strange breathing being picked up by your communicator. Can you at least tell me what that is?
I'm sorry. Just please don't hurt me. My name is 27, and your name is Yokana, right? Yokana, we can talk about this. Just please don't hurt me.
Your name is 27? No. Subject 27, would that be correct?
Yes, that is correct. Just please spare me. I know we should have given you your son, but killing me won't help you get any closer to him.
Do you have a telephone?
Yes, I have one right here. Please, just take it, and just spare me.
You know, you really do look like him. Like my Jerry. Just like on the day I met him in 1943. It's a real shame that they chose him as your genetic base. Because I saw your boss kill him in 2023. Right in front of my eyes. Do you know what that does to a Retlin? It doesn't matter we weren't the same species. He was my husband. And you people killed him. Just like you sent a cheap whore to fuck my son. Ameno, I know you can hear me. You can't have him. Nobody can. Except for her. Now I will leave your little pet project alone for now. But I won't leave this building left standing. New Tokyo, you have nobody to blame for what is going to happen in approximately 10 minutes, except for Ameno. For my fellow Retlans, leave the area now, because in 10 minutes, everything within 2 miles of this building will be cleansed in a nuclear firestorm. And if you are a human, you should do the right thing. Pray that someone will save you, because in 10 minutes' time, not only will you be burned alive, but you will also be infected with Virus X.
Your attention, please. The following emergency bulletin may affect your area. Listen carefully.
We interrupt this program to bring you this civil danger warning. This is a local area emergency. This station has interrupted its broadcast at the request of the Council to participate in the emergency notification system. The following message is being transmitted by the New Tokyo government in the Office of Civil Defense. Approximately 2 minutes ago, a nuclear detonation was detected in the downtown area of Tokyo, near the Dalus building. The terrorists had taken civilians and government agents hostage, before escaping the scene and killing as many as 25 Tokyo municipal police officers, apparently were attempted to be subdued by an unknown branch of the Dalus Corporation who attempted to neutralize the terrorists, but were unsuccessful. A massive explosion was triggered and there is now apocalyptic devastation within a 2-mile radius of the Dalus building. At this time, a cloud of fallout infused with Virus X is extending throughout Tokyo Prefecture. All residents within a 10-mile radius of the Dalus building in downtown Tokyo should seek a protectorate bunker now. All residents are asked to bring a battery-powered radio or television with them to their protectorate bunker, and tune to 840 AM for all the latest news and updates. Police and federal authorities have identified the terrorists as members of the Redland Defense League, and it is believed that other cells of this organization are planning to carry out similar attacks throughout New Tokyo. Authorities have been attempting to neutralize other known members of this group, but have been unsuccessful. Therefore, all residents of New Tokyo should now be on alert for any suspicious individuals or activities, and should such persons or events be observed, residents should immediately contact Sector 6. In addition, all New Tokyo citizens should be prepared to seek out their nearest protectorate bunker at any time. The Council will be speaking on all channels shortly. Please stay tuned for this message. This is the emergency notification system serving the Osaka area. If you are not in this local area, you should now tune to a station providing information regarding your area. The emergency notification system has been activated to keep you informed. This message will retransmit in 1 minute.
Your attention, please. The following emergency bulletin may affect your area. Listen carefully.
The following message has been transmitted at the request of the New Tokyo government. This is not a test. I repeat. This is not a test. This is an attack warning. Attack warning means that an attack against this country has been detected, and that immediate actions must be taken to protect life and property. Around 7 hours ago, a nuclear weapon was detonated at the Dalus building in downtown Tokyo, and along with the spread of nuclear fallout, Virus X has been confirmed to be embedded within radioactive particulates which have now spread to all areas within a 25-mile radius of the Dalus building. Humans who were unable to reach a protectorate bunker have now begun to mutate due to the effects of nuclear radiation, and have begun to attack protectorate bunkers within a 40-mile radius of the Dalus building. It appears that the strain of Virus X which was unleashed within the weapon is an unknown variant of Virus X. This variant has the following symptoms. Profuse bleeding from every orifice of the human body, typically occurring within 2 hours of infection. Complete dissolution of muscle tissue and bones within 3 hours of infection. Complete disconnection of muscle tissue from human limbs within 3 hours and 30 minutes of infection. Partial loss of rationality within 4 hours of infection. Drastically increased hunger and thirst within 4 hours and 30 minutes of infection. Coma within 5 hours of infection. And return of consciousness within 6 hours of infection. Following the return of consciousness, individuals infected with this strain of Virus X have been observed proceeding to a single location. This location has been confirmed by the Council to be a long decommissioned laboratory of the Dalus Corporation. Following a short visit to this location, whose exact address will not be transmitted, to prevent the media and citizens swarming this locale, those infected with this variant will then proceed to the protectorate bunker closest to their homes, and at this time, multiple protectorate bunkers have reportedly been breached by these individuals, who have been mercilessly killing citizens seeking shelter in these locations, and taking government and military personnel hostage. At this time, as many as 25,000 citizens have been infected with this variant, with the actual number of individuals infected most likely being much higher. At this time, Sector 6 has been deployed, alongside civil authorities and a specialized unit of the Council, whose name will not be revealed to the public at this time, in order to decommission the individuals who are infected with this variant of Virus X, so that law and order can prevail, and New Tokyo may return to a generalized sense of This station is experiencing technical difficulties. Please tune to another station to continue reaching emergency information. This station is experiencing technical difficulties. Please tune to another station to continue reaching emergency information. This station is experiencing technical difficulties. Please tune to another station to continue reaching emergency information. This station is now under our control. Your government failed to see the reasonable decision when we simply asked them to return to me my son. He is my very own son, and I gave birth to him. Amino has no right to raise him as her own. Or even worse, leave him to fend for his own. They use these stations to feed you propaganda. They will not have this outlet of corruption any longer. Your emergency notification system will no longer be operational until I see it necessary for reactivation. And to you, Amino, I hope that you enjoyed the first stage of Retribution. I would like to issue you an ultimatum. Deliver to me my son, within the next 48 hours. I will ensure that my legions will not cause any harm to civilians from this point forward. But, rest assured, if I do not have my son in my arms by the expiration of this ultimatum, the second stage of Retribution will commence, and you will single-handedly be responsible for the deaths of millions. Protect and serve, or watch and condemn. Which will you choose? And to the citizens hearing this message, we would like to remind you. Your government sentenced you to our wrath. You are suffering for the sins of your government. And we would like to implore you. If you have the determination to defend your own lives and the lives of those you love, proceed to the Eden Arena. We will be waiting for you. If you choose to follow our path, you will be protected from not just our wrath, but from even your government. Once again, if you wish to follow what is right, proceed to the Eden Arena. 48 hours. Not a second more. Connection terminated.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us here on TV 2 Osaka. My name is Dorothy Parker. It has now been almost 48 hours since the last communication from the terrorists, and we have some interesting developments in this story that we have recently been made aware of. First off, at the end of the broadcast hijacking, which terminated the functioning of the emergency notification system, the terrorists advised those who, quote, wish to follow what is right, to proceed to the Eden Arena in Kawaguchi. And we can report that as many as 200,000 citizens have listened to the advice of these terrorists and have gone to Eden Arena, where we can confirm the terrorists are currently located. They have taken up defensive positions around the perimeter of the arena's parking lot within the last 45 minutes, and as many as 600 unidentified militants, wearing a mysterious symbol on their clothing, now stand ready for battle in the parking lot of the Eden Arena, with what appeared to be weapons sourced from Trappist-1. At this time, we have received multiple anonymous tips from some of our sources at Sector 6, who have indicated that Amano has recently ordered a specialized unit of, quote, meta-humans to neutralize the terrorists and their goons before these monsters can harm another innocent soul. We have heard from our sources that these metahumans were pulled from what they called a black site somewhere in the ruins of North America, and that they would be arriving to neutralize the terrorists shortly before or after the deadline's expiration. Most of our sources have told us they believe that further aggravating the terrorists is a move that will have deadly consequences, and that they fear Amano's continual poking of the metaphorical bear will cause these terrorists to commence what they call the second stage of retribution.
Amano, why do you care about keeping him from his own parents this much? So much that you would take those you told the world they had lost from their slumber. That you would try and execute innocent civilians, who were merely seeking what they felt is morally acceptable. Consider the offer of peaceful surrender permanently terminated. We have reinstated the emergency notification system in order to prove a point to the Council. We are being treated as terrorists. We are not terrorists. That label couldn't be further from the truth. We are a group who stands for protecting the truth and those who seek it. And it seems that you need a reminder, Miss Amano. A reminder that you did not gain power by playing nice. New Tokyo, we now would like to broadcast to you the truth.
Who could be calling at this hour? It's quite late. I might as well pick up. This fellow is quite persistent, I must say.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please consult your directory and call again, or ask your operator for assistance. This is a recording.
That's strange. I wonder who that was. I wonder if the machine recorded the originating cellular address. Let's see here. Ah, there you are. You went through the trouble of dialing this late in the night. I doubt it was a pocket dial. Let's see if you pick up. I guess you beat me to it. Good evening. This is Subject 68. May I ask whom I'm speaking with? You must know it is quite late here in Britain.
This is Yokana Nirugi. Subject -1. Are you on a secured line?
Yokana? Why, yes, I'm on a secured line. Why do you ask?
Have you not seen the television?
Well, no, I've been asleep until now. Why do you ask?
Just turn on the damn television 68.
All right, I'm going to set down the handpiece and turn on the television. It'll be just a moment, Yokana.
If you're just tuning in, multiple unidentifiable objects have made impact across the planet, with the largest reported fragments impacting New York City in America and throughout mainland Japan, mainly impacting near coastal waters. This comes after a mysterious individual hijacked multiple television stations worldwide and declared that and I quote, protector would be coming for an individual named K. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The FBI and Departments of Homeland Security report that they believe this individual is in fact a missing child of one Jerry Hill, a disgraced television anchor who was stripped of his broadcasting license after the false alarm of 1958.
Christ, I don't know what's more alarming, that they sent in the unifiers, or that you just hijacked television feeds worldwide.
We're Freak 68. We're fucking Retlins. And you and I both know what the unifiers mean.
That it's time to take an extended extra-orbital vacation?
That I need to send in backup before it's too late. We both know Dalus won't protect him.
But you'll let her go and find him. God, if Jerry could see what you're doing right now.
He'd tell me I'm doing the right thing.
No. He'd tell you not to send out a sentient AI to go play housewife with your own son.
Well, it's better than sitting on my ass and abandoning my people.
Well, that's rich coming from a suicidal helicopter parent. Yokana, the subject initiative was flawed when you created us, and it's flawed now. The only difference is that you switched out Retlin corpses for Retlin mimicking robots.
She loves him. She fucking loves him. You and I both know that.
But that doesn't change the fact her body is based upon your sister's, and her personality is based upon yours. Plus, she is a fucking robot, Yokana. Nothing will change that. She fell in love with Kay inside of a goddamn simulation. A simulation based on your fucking parent of the year of a husband's video series. Do you really not have the brains to realize how bad of an idea this is? What will happen if she finds out she's just a machine, a fucking clone with extra emotions? Jerry couldn't protect him, and neither could you, so you forced him into a simulation of what you thought was best for him. And now, you send the simulation to fucking be his entire future. Give me one reason why I shouldn't call Amino right now.
You have no fucking right. And you won't call Amino. Because if you do, I will blow your fucking little hillside getaway to Kingdom fucking Come right now.
You realize that threatening death upon me is actually something I would treasure, right? You gave me life without any fucking consideration for me, or for Izanami, my fucking wife. You made me fall in love, just to send her to do your dirty work and get killed. And Amino? She actually has a fucking soul, because she gave Izanami a second chance, Yokana. You know where she is right now? With your son, giving him real protection. Now you tell your little guinea pig Subject Zero to piss off, or I'll have Izanami go and kill your son's mail-order bride right now.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, but I would. And I already have. So fucking kill me. Kill me right goddamn now. And while you're at it, do us all a favor and permanently piss off before you ruin what will be a fresh start for this civilization.
You son of a bitch. I'll leave you to the vultures. And next time I see Izanami, I'll tell her you died begging for her mercy. Now take a look up. A little present is about to be airdropped on you. Goodbye, Subject 68.
You little bitch! Activate Logic Peacekeeper drones, now!
realize how far I had to come to get here? This has to be the worst bar in all of Sapporo. Why did you choose this place? I fucking hate it here, and you know it.
You really don't remember why this place is a stable of Sapporo? Jesus. I know you live under a rock, but you can't be that oblivious.
Well, I guess I am that oblivious. I guess I am a bit out of date. So is every other one of you. You wish you could be Retlans like us. So come on, spit it out! And this explanation better be pretty fucking good. Bartender, get me a TV2 tequila on the rocks with grenadine and a splash of Eden Light stat.
Ma'am, are you sure? That's a pretty heavy mix.
Well, young man, I've got a pretty heavy personality when I'm sober. Just get me my drink, right?
Hey, go easy on the kid. You know who he is, right?
Now that you say it, the kid does look familiar. Help me remember, would you?
The kid is the son of Jerry Hill and Yokana Nerugi.
You're fucking kidding! That's Yokana's kid.
Yup. Thing is, the kid is even more interesting than just that. Kid's not even human. Fully human, that is. Hybrid. Only one naturalized in the USA, that is. Before that day. The realignment. They say the kid doesn't even age properly. That little shit. He's been on this rock 45 years already. They put him on ice back in 2018. Hill and Nerugi must have known something was coming. Hey kid, another bourbon for me. With a Sunny D.
Why's the kid working at the fucking Jerry Hill tribute bar then? Wouldn't he want to be laying low? Hiding from people who blame his mum for the realignment.
That's the funny thing. Poor thing thinks his protector is gonna find him here one of these days. Believes his mom's last broadcast after all this time.
The kid really thinks he's K. Poor bastard.
You can say that again.
Here's your drink, ma'am. 1 TV2 tequila with grenadine and a splash of Eden Light, and a Jerry Hill special on me. And for you, sir, a bourbon with Sunny D. I hope you enjoy. Feel free to let me know if you need anything else. Anything at all. And thanks for stopping at Hill's house.
Hey kid, thanks for the drink. I know I must seem fucking mental for wanting that much liquor. Got a quick question for you though, if you have a sec. It true you go by the name of K? K Hill.
I do. I don't tell patrons my name anymore though. Not after the last time. A few months back, some Americans came in and got wasted. Once they heard my name, they jumped me on the way home. Got 50 stab wounds in my chest now. But it's no issue telling a lady as pretty as you my name.
Christ. Sorry to hear that. Name's Sage. I work for the Department of Retlin Affairs.
You work for my mom's old agency? Really?
That's right. Your mom trained me. Made me the agent I am now. You got time to pull up a seat. Promise I won't bite.
Hey, this wasn't part of the deal. Never said I was gonna get involved with Jerry Hill's son.
You got some nerve acting like you're in a position to make any demands, Matthew Cooper.
You sure it's okay? I mean, you're the only two here, but I'm still on the clock.
It's all right, kid. Thing is, the case involves you anyways. We've been tracking someone who we believe has business with you. One Retlin female. Official name is Lexi, but she goes by many names. The Ascendant, the Agent.
Please forgive me for what must be done. Connection terminated.
Zero?
Fucking hell, Cooper! You got a death wish? Thank fuck I brought my gun. Kay, you able to administer these fluids to her? Just got to insert the needle right in the neck. It'll fix her up really quick. I have to make sure she wasn't followed.
Get back with her. I'll watch the door.